everyone, and welcome back to Just with Dara. This is the 10th episode and the last episode of this season, but it's okay because I'll be back next week with Season 2, Episode 1, so don't miss me for too long. But anyways, I have two guests with me today, and I'm super excited because these two lovely ladies approached me to do this episode, which I was really happy to hear about what they wanted to talk about, and I'm sure you can tell by the title, we're talking about misogyny, which I'm pretty sure that all three of us are pretty passionate about. So, I'll let the girls introduce themselves now. So go ahead, Keziah.
Hi, thank you. Hey guys, my name's Keziah. I'm 15 years old. I'm going to sophomore year in high school. I'm currently growing up with strict Christian parents and have experienced a lot of misogyny in my own home.
Hey guys, I'm Layla. I'm 15 and I'm going into my sophomore year as well.
Okay, thank you guys. So I'm just going to get us started by reading the dictionary definition of misogyny, in case there may be some people who don't know what the term means or aren't too familiar with the term as a whole. So I'm getting the definition from Merriam-Webster dictionaries online. So here's what it says. Definition of misogyny: hatred of, aversion to, or prejudice against women. So I think in this episode, we're focusing more on the prejudice part, but the other ones are equally as important. So yeah.
Misogyny is deeply rooted into society and people's minds without them realizing it. Women can also be misogynistic from their upbringing and them not even knowing it because of the society we live in today.
I agree with that. And how their parents were raised also contributes to their mindset and them not being exposed to other thoughts of thinking and ways of thinking. For example, this is a riddle. A man and his son are in a terrible accident and are rushed to the hospital in critical care. The doctor looks at the boy and exclaims, "I cannot operate on this boy. He is my son. How could this be?" The answer is that it's the boy's mother. So when someone reads the riddle, they automatically assume that the doctor's operating is the father, but it can't be the father because he's dead. This is how it's confusing. When people find out the answer is the mother, they're surprised, which shows the misogyny within people's minds without them realizing it. The saying, women belong in the kitchen, and the upbringing of young women thinking that they have to become housewives and serve men and that type of thing. And them having the mindset that they can't do anything more with their lives is really damaging. And luckily in society, we have social media to teach women that they can do more. But some women are unfortunately trapped in that stereotype.
Yeah, I agree with the stereotype. I personally hate stereotypes a lot. And people are raised with them knowing those stereotypes and thinking, "Oh, that's right. Maybe I should grow up like that." Some statistics, statistics say that the pay gap between male and female in the United States is 18.2%, and then the highest pay gap in the world between men and women is in South Korea with 34.6%.
Oh, to speak on that though, I think that's incredibly really sad, honestly, because the fact that you would pay a woman less than a man, it's really stupid, because it's I don't think your gender has anything to do with how hard you're working or how well you can work. And then I saw something the other day. Don't fact check me on this though, because I'm not really sure if it's 100% true. But I saw something that said at the rate we're going, I believe in America, that it would take another 100 years just for the pay rate to actually be equal. And it's when you think about that, that's really sad, because you would think that we're improving right now. But it
Right.
seems it's not that good, because okay, so let's think about when women's rights really started kind of coming up, which was the 19, maybe I think, so women got the right to vote in 1920, I believe. If I'm wrong, you guys can tell me that, but I'm pretty sure. And I think before, the years before then, is kind of when marches started coming out and things like that, women would start speaking out. And then it's that was 100 years ago though, and you're telling me that it takes another 100 years just for them to be paid, just for us to be paid equal compared to our male counterparts. And it's when you really deep it, it's just wow, that's actually really stupid, because it's that shouldn't even be that should not be a thing. It should not be possible, because that's the same way well, like, okay, let me explain. So I feel like when they pay people different based off of like experience or how hard, not how hard, how long they've been working for, I understand that, and I feel like that seems fair enough. Like, I think that's kind of an argument in its own, but like that seems
Mhm.
fair enough with people. Like if you've been working longer and you obviously have more experience, you should be paid more. Like I get that, but I
Mhm.
feel like you being a man compared to somebody else being a woman does not mean that you get to be paid more. Like I could care less what your
Yeah.
parts are in your body, because that's really what gender is, and that should not be making you get paid more than a woman, because that's really just, it's so stupid and it's really embarrassing. I feel like, honestly.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, how are they going to pay women less, considering that women and men in these fields have the exact same like schooling and experience and everything else involved with that, just because of their gender? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Right. And then also to speak on when you guys were talking about like that stereotype that like women are supposed to be in the kitchen and cook and this and that, like brought up in households. So I've said this a lot on this podcast, embedded into the Nigerian culture. I'll kind of speak personally on that. I think I spoke about this in another one of my episodes before. I definitely think that's true, because although I feel like my parents, like, I'm not gonna say that they completely treat like my sister and I different from my brother, but I do feel like that there are some things that like my brother can get away with that, but like my sister and I can't. And I love
Mhm.
you, mom and dad, when you're listening to this, by the way. But anyways, I just don't think it's fair. However, so like I think I was saying before, like another episode, talking about how like when my mom's cooking, she'll like call my sister and I to come and learn how to cook like whatever traditional food it may be. But
Mhm.
I don't remember her calling my brother at a time, and I don't understand that. That's when I was saying like when I raise like my own kids, I'm gonna call both my son, all of my kids, including my sons and my daughters, because I think cooking is just something you need to learn how to do, whether you're a woman or whether you're a man. And
Right.
also how I was saying,
Yeah.
like, you best believe, like, when I'm married, I'm not staying in that kitchen cooking for my husband 24/7 while he's
Yeah.
just sitting there. Like, that's not happening. I think it's a
Yeah.
joint effort, especially if you're in the same, like, household or something like that. So it's a joint effort to cook the meals or whatever. It also has to be cleaning. Like, it doesn't all need to be put on to the woman, because I think, yeah, I was talking about this in my gender roles episode. So like that's just really, it's outdated. And I mean, 21st
Mhm.
century, 2021, like move on, because I think at this point we should be like really moving past that, because we don't want to stay with that and stay with the idea of women have to be doing this and men have to be doing this and they have their roles and this is
Right.
how it has to be all the time. So yeah, I think that really resonated with me when you guys said that, though, because I think I could relate to that personally. So yeah. What
Yes.
wait, I know you said earlier, because I like in your household you feel like there's some misogyny. So like if you could speak on that a little bit, and Layla, if you feel like that's also happens in your own household as well, kind of speak personally to you.
Yeah, sure. A direct quote from my father, like, like how everyone has chores in the house, but me being the oldest, specifically, the oldest girl, because I have a younger brother and even younger, like twin sisters. A direct quote from my dad would be, um, I'm glad that you're learning how to like keep the house or whatever. Men like women who can cook and clean. And I just, being a child, I couldn't say anything to that, or I would be considered disrespectful and things like that. And I've noticed that I have more chores and more responsibilities than my brother, for example, who is only 2 to 3 years younger than I am. And I'm more responsible for like my little sisters and doing things for them and making dinner and quote unquote keeping the house. And I think my dad has a really big part in the like misogyny in my household because he always um makes my mom make dinner, like, or make him things, and it's not like asking, it's more of like a demanding type of thing. And his thing is always like, men are the head of the household and they control everything, and everyone else, the women, the wife, whatever, the kids, they follow after him. And I don't know if that's because I've heard that that's also like a biblical thing, but I'm not really sure. And it was also really like damaging emotionally. So
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm really
Um,
sorry about that, by the way.
it's okay.
I'm very lucky to live in a household that like I don't have we all share a part to keep the house clean and cook and stuff. And like I live with all girls except my dad. And I have a lot of family friends who actually live in that misogynistic lifestyle. And like for example, a family friend, like their older brother, he gets like this plate full and it's like, oh, he has to get all strong and buff. And he can eat a lot, but when like the sister, she like gets the same portion amount of food like that, she's considered, oh, she's gonna gain weight. She's trying to be a fatty, quote unquote. Um so yeah, I like hate that and I think that's so stupid.
That's fair.
Yeah, thank you guys, both of you, for that. I
Mhm.
think misogyny as a whole is dumb. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
There, the fact that there's a term for it is really stupid because I don't understand why people can't just really realize that because you're another gender doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't mean. I really feel like it doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't make you any less than your counterpart. It doesn't make you
Yeah.
any different or anything like that. And I think
Mhm.
it's just something that hopefully with time it gets better, but it seems, I don't know. It sometimes I'm like, some days I'm like, oh, okay, it's getting better with like things I see on like social media and stuff. I'm okay,
Mhm.
people are beginning to like understand. Then other days, like somebody like at school or something make like a stupid comment. I'm just like, are you actually kidding me? Like, why?
Yeah.
Are you, it's just why are you doing this? Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But how do you guys feel that misogyny is like at school? With like maybe boys in your class or girls in your class as well, or even teachers.
One big thing I would like to speak on is dress codes.
Yep.
I feel like it's the school system trying to sexualize young girls and like minors. And considering how strict it is on girls, um not considering compared to guys, I feel like men don't even have a dress code. Like even if they do, quote unquote, have a dress code, it's not as enforced that is it as it is for like women and
Yeah.
how their bodies develop. And the only dress code I feel like is actually enforced is in private schools. But even in private schools, the girls' dress codes are still stricter than the guys.
Yes, thank you for that. Especially when you said like if you feel like it's the school system trying to like sexualize young girls. And exactly, like I saw this quote that was like, instead of, wait, what was it? I'm so paraphrasing here, but it's like, instead of making your young girls like dress a certain way, teach your young boys not to sexualize
Yeah.
every. I think
Right.
that was something else I talked about as well. It's just like it's really annoying because it's like are you like I think I was explaining this in like my first episode, like when a girl like walks into the school building, like before she even gets into her class, before she even leaves like the front like office, like maybe like the receptionist will be like, oh, put your fingers down, like finger hands down so I can like see where your fingertips fall to make sure it's dress code. But like I swear to you guys, like boys walk in, like especially like if they don't feel like changing for gym, they'll come in with like shorts that I can promise you are not dress code, and
Right.
then like it'll be fine and nobody will say anything like the whole day. And the girls, like, they have it so tough, and it's really annoying because it's like, is this what you really want to be teaching like our young girls, like, oh, it's okay to just like only let the make the girls follow these rules but not the boys, because that doesn't teach fairness at all. That show And I also think that that shows the boys, oh, okay, well, it's okay for us to also treat other girls like this, but for guys like it's different. Like that, it's really sad.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we also talk about how women and like young girls or minors in general are sexualized before they even leave their front door of their house by their parents? Because there's many different like types of clothing that I'm not allowed to wear. Like all of my shorts or like skirts or dresses or whatever have to go to my knee. Like they can't be mid thigh or even like 3/4 of my thigh or anything like that. And it's always been that way, and it's like that for my sisters as well, and my brother is forced also. This doesn't really he's like has to wear larger clothing. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think in my household, like I don't know if I would necessarily call it like sexualizing your children, but I see where you're going with that. However, I think it's like more of like my parents trying to like I guess protect like my sister and I guess my brother as well from like outside like predators, which I understand, but the fact that they even have to do that is sad because like why are other people looking at like younger like minors or even adults like put your eyes somewhere else first of all, and
Right.
second of all like do you not have anything better to do with your time than to be like staring at young people? Because I think I remember this one time, like we were in the store in some like this grocery store, and my mom and I like so I think I was like on my phone and I was doing something like I wasn't paying attention. I think after this is why she's like really strict about me like not being on the phone like when we're in the grocery store because she doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like want me to be like distracted. She's always saying like I should pay attention to my surroundings and be aware because there was this one time, I think my sister said she knows it too. I guess like the shorts I were wearing were like pretty short. And so she said that like somebody was staring right at my bum. And so I didn't realize. And I think after that, she kind of got mad at me that like I was on my phone not being aware. And so with that, I'm just like, at that time, wait, no, this was like a few months ago. I'm 14. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm still a child.
Right.
Like, are you actually kidding me? And the thing is, it's just like, it's so annoying because I'm just like, I feel, yeah, it's just annoying. And then also, I hope I'm not talking too much, but like a cousin of mine, she was telling me how, she would like go out for like her morning runs, and
Mm-hmm.
she's young too. She's a minor as well, and like she would get like catcalled. Like it's inevitable. Like every single morning, like she's going to get catcalled by like the boys or the not even boys, men really, in like the neighborhood, like old men. I'm just like, are you actually kidding me? Like she's a child. Like I'm sure you can see that, and you're still like acting like in this predatory behavior, this pedophile behavior. Like it's just really disgusting, honestly. And I think that's why I was saying like it's sad that my parents even have to say like, oh well, you can't wear this to like protect me from like outside people. But it's really annoying. And I think that's why like personally I think I would I think that's why like sometimes I'm even kind of wary about like the outfits I'm picking out because like I just don't want to have to go out and like have somebody saying something, even if it's not even like quote catcalling, but just like
I agree.
having somebody commenting about it. Like I just don't want to deal with that. So
Right. And like I feel like the sexualization of like young girls, it I don't understand like how, I mean I do understand how like your parents like expect you how to dress or whatever, but like the sexualization of like young girls is like there no matter what. Even people who are like dressed head to toe covering everything. Like
yeah.
it's still there no matter what. So,
You're right, because I did see something. I think it was a Muslim woman, and I forgot which country, but somewhere in Europe. And I believe
mhm,
that she was raped, and she does believe in like wearing her hijab, and like she was dressing what somebody would call really modestly. And she
yeah.
was saying like it doesn't just happen to those who are like wearing short dresses or something. Like it does
Mm,
not like it doesn't depend on what you're wearing. Like it could still happen. I do think I think that you brought up a good point with that. It doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily have to do with like one type of way that you dress. Like it could happen to anyhow and any way that anybody dresses because apparently people just don't care now or they're just really dumb, like stupid, they're not thinking and I don't know, it just there's no like excuse for it because it's just really it's disgusting.
I agree. And like I feel like it specifically affects young black or African American girls because their bodies are considered to like develop faster than everyone else. And so the sexualization of them starts way earlier than most people would think it does.
Yeah, you're right. And also because I know like personally like some people that I know, it's like they'll be like maybe like 12, right? But then like
Hmm.
they what people would say is like they look like they're like 17 or like 18 or something. Even if you're 17, you're still a minor. So like put your eyes somewhere else. But like um yeah, I think I agree with what you're saying, how it also happens in that community a lot because like you said, we do like develop faster.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Y'all had some great points and a really good movie recommendation. It's called Moxie. It's on Netflix. It's spelled movie, but instead of a V, it's an X. And it's this big feminism movement. in this girl's school, and she makes like this cool thing. It's kind of like Radio Rebel, but it's not. It's about like being a feminism and stuff, and it's really good. It's directed by Amy Poehler, and there's this one scene, like going along with y'all's the dress code thing y'all were saying. There's a scene and like they all like all the girls in the school wore tank tops that day, and because apparently shoulders are being sexualized in schools. So
Yeah,
um
so distracting.
right. And so they all wore tank tops, and there's a scene, this girl had bigger boobs than this other girl, and she was showing more because she had more. And they were wearing the exact same tank top, and but the principal called her out instead of the other girl. And I think that really shows what is wrong in the school. But yeah, that movie's really great recommendation. It's really good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I know you guys had some tips about like how not to be misogynist. So you guys can go ahead and share that.
Okay, the first thing we have is to educate yourself on misogyny as a whole to get a deeper understanding of like what it truly is beyond the prejudice and hatred of women and stuff. And to like really look for misogyny in common places because many things can be misogynistic, such as movies, books, phrases, or jokes. And a lot of people don't realize how it is.
Yeah.
Layla, do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, 1 second. You can go ahead and read it.
Okay. Our next thing we have is to correct those around you who you feel is being misogynistic. Like, if you can, obviously, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to correct adults if you are younger, because they might consider that as disrespect or whatever. But like, correct those around you, as in like friends, and tell them that acting that way or saying those type of things or making those type of jokes is not okay.
Yeah. And the next thing was understanding that joke says, quote, women belong in the kitchen, and you throw like a girl are harmful for a woman and are kind of bring down their self-esteem. And going off of those quotes too, I think like the one that says like women belong in the kitchen. I also there's a lot of women in the world who do understand they can do more, but they like that lifestyle. I also think you shouldn't bring them down for doing like that, like their thing. And then the next thing was like believing, or this kind of goes along what I was saying with not bringing other girls down and stuff. As saying that believing and supporting and uplifting women for their personal choices. Women should be allowed to wear what they would like, freedom of clothing and stuff whenever they would like, no matter the circumstances. They also shouldn't be forced to shave their natural body hair. Her body, her choice. Men have no say in what women should do with their body. Women aren't made to serve men. And I really, um, I'm really big about, because like my arm hairs, they're very noticeable, and I'm like very self-conscious, but like over the years I've gotten used to it. And more people are like I've had in the past, people like make fun of it, and like,
Mhm.
oh, it makes me so angry because I'm like, it's normal. But yeah, I also think that women should like do what they want. If they want to shave, let them shave, and if they don't want to, don't bring them down about it because it's normal. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so also to piggyback off of what you were saying, Layla, about like the jokes, like, oh, you feel like a girl, like that's so stupid to me. And I think it was like really heavy in like elementary school, like in PE, like in I didn't have gym in middle school, but in like just in general, like I think gym classes in general and PE class in general, or when you're doing anything like I guess athletic or like sporty, like people will say things like they're saying it as an insult. Like if I'm throwing, I'm a girl. That's like an insult for to tell somebody else like, oh, you throw like a girl. Like that's so dumb to me because I'm like, why are you using my gender and how I throw or whatever as an insult? I just want to add on to that because that's very stupid and that would definitely be misogynistic as a whole. And I think and the whole thing what you were saying earlier, because I like it's into our society, and like people don't even realize like it's in their brains. That was, like I said, in elementary school, like 7-year-olds were saying that because it's been like taught to them, like put in their brains, like these misogynistic views, and it's really sad and unfortunate that a young age. But we should all try to educate ourselves using the tips that you guys have give us, which is so lovely. To teach, like, and to educate ourselves about not being misogynistic and to be inclusive of all people, whatever gender they are, or anything like that. So yeah, just kind of wanted to add that.
To like end off like what you were saying, the last thing on the list or whatever is just for everyone to accept people as they are and not make them feel like they have to change to fit into society standards. And like Layla was saying, like feeling insecure about her like body hair when it's normal for everyone. Like we wouldn't be made with body hair if we didn't need it. So like I just think that people shouldn't be like forced to change no matter like their weight or what they look like or what disabilities or anything about them.
Yeah. Okay,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Those
that's all.
all good points. Thank you. Like I definitely agree with both of you. Like the body hair, the body weight. Like just like be accepting of everyone, because especially like when you're just saying now, like we wouldn't be made without it. Like if it wasn't supposed to be there, like it's normal. So don't shame other people for having things that are normal. So, anyways, yeah, I appreciate the both of you coming on this episode. I love you guys so much. I
Love you.
really thank you. Thank you. I really thank you guys for coming on this. I think we had like a really good convo about this, and hopefully, it helps people be like a little bit educated on misogyny and how to like maybe stop it. Like if they had those thoughts before. So yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. And to my listeners, I appreciate you guys for listening and for listening this far. Thank you guys for always supporting me. Love all of you guys, and I will see you with season 2 next week.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye.